Hello Scorpio, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Scorpio. Is I see a lot of financial success coming through. I feel like the guides are telling you you're on the right track and push forward, okay? So if you've offered like new position, new jobs and things like that, I definitely feel a lot of options opening up for you that will be very, very fruitful for you in the future. What I'm also sensing as well is travel, and I feel that's coming in possibly by the end of the month. And there's some worries, anxieties from your end about travel. I don't know why that is showing up. See if there's a card that flipped over. I don't know why that's showing up because I feel like everything else looks very good in terms of your career path and your finances. I feel like you might be in a situation where you have a lot of work to do and you might not have the time to properly travel and have a leisurely vacation. So even while you're on vacation, there's still a lot of anxiety and worries about the work situation, okay? What I'm sensing as well is be careful about people in your environment for this month. I do sense people coming to you with their problems. And the advice here is, turn your back from it. Just turn your back completely and do things on your own. Okay, do things on your own. Turn your back completely is my advice here. It's going to be much better for you for your emotional and mental health. And I do sense that's where you're meant to be anyways. Let me see what else I'm seeing coming through. I'm trying to make these reading a little bit shorter so that it reduces the upload time. I do feel some long, it's telling me like long cherished hope. Something is breaking through. I see this image of like a crack in the wall and the light shining through. Something is breaking through. And I do feel it's because you're taking steps in the right direction to either initiate something or to start something with another person. You're moving in the right direction. And I feel it's almost like there's a lot of fears. There's a lot of like self-esteem, like like what would you call that? Like you're not sure if you have what it takes to do it. And I feel like you're just like, this month, I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. And I feel for a lot of you, it has to do with major career. And it has to do with a person that you have a very, very strong emotional connection with. And you're taking a leap of faith and you're doing something about it. So a lot of good energy is coming through, mainly because you're taking that leap of faith. Okay, so already we have good cards, actually. We have some very, very strong, a lot of major arcana. Well, let's see. Not a lot, but I do feel as the advice, we have here 2 major arcana. So, oh, I need another card here. Excuse me, let me get another card out. With the King of Wands. What is he coupled up with? Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, so first off, we have the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Cups. So this is a card about, fantasy versus reality, okay? And the Seven of Cups usually indicates a lot of choices, a lot of options that we are trying to look at and trying to really understand so that we can make sense of it. I feel somebody is bringing you a lot of confusion, a lot of muddled thinking, and you're scattering your energy between many, many things. You have this illusion of grandeur, and the advice here is for you to bring this energy back down to earth. And what you see is not always what you get. So it's kind of like read between the lines, look past the veneer, and to really use your mind to analyze what somebody is bringing you, okay? So all of these options are not entirely good for you. So be very careful about the choices that you take on and the options that you take on. What I'm also feeling as well is there's a lot of confusion here when it concerns an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I do sense that this person is actually very, very straightforward in the way they interact. But I feel like because they're of a different element than you you tend to be a little bit secretive, Scorpio. So you might think that like, okay, I need to read between the lines. I need to like figure out what's going on. But either way, the energy that they bring into your life tends to be to confuse you. So you feel a little bit muddled when they're in your presence, and you feel a little bit stirred up, okay? And I don't feel it's in a bad way, but I do sense some thorough communication is going to need to happen between the two of you. And I feel that once again, taking that leap of faith and initiating things and pushing things forward is going to be very good for you. In terms of your communication, for some reason, I feel like your psychic abilities are being enhanced. And normally you are a very, very clear, precise, and succinct communicator. But I feel like for some of you this month, you're going to need that extra push in order to convey your ideas, in order to explain things in a coherent way. So I feel like communication needs to be either it needs to be like tempered a little bit. So I feel like whatever messages that you need to deliver, do it in a very delicate way, okay? And it's actually good for you this month not to commit to anything. What I mean by that is if someone is like forcing you to act and you haven't had the time to do research and you haven't done all the preliminary groundwork yet. Don't make promises that you can't keep, because I feel like you're dealing with muddled energy and it's in your best interest to try to, get a firm footing before you execute a plan, before you make a decision, okay? So there's a lot of preliminary groundwork that needs to be laid out in order to execute some type of a project, some type of a new initiative. In terms of your work situation, we do have here the Ace of Wands, which normally indicates to me new projects. It can also indicate new households as well, okay? New project, new household, something that really stirs our passion, something. So it reminds me of previous reading. So there is somebody bringing you a spark of passion, and we have an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Once again, I do sense air sign is figuring very, very prominently in your life for this month. And I'm going to, clarify that with the love reading in a little bit to make sure uh, what area of your life they're coming in as. But so far, I'm getting on the work environment that there's going to be some new ideas, some new ways to implement things. And what I'm sensing as well is you have new projects coming in. There might potentially be an air sign that is a little bit resistant or hesitant about initiating some type of project with you. If you have an air sign that is in your environment that's sparking your passion, I do sense that you're a little bit aggressive about this, and they might like keep you at arm's length, mainly because they're trying to figure out what is your motive. So I feel like there's this back and forth between the two of you where you're just like, let's go for it, and they're like, no, let me think about it. So there's this push and pull factor, okay, between what our heart desire and what our mind wants. And it's a very similar energy to the Pisces reading that I just did. So I feel like there's this head and heart choices, and you're trying to find a way to rectify the two or to balance the two. And I feel like a lot of you strategize, don't act so prematurely. And I feel like that's not something that Scorpios do in general, but I feel like something is sparking your passion and you can't wait on it anymore. So you're like trying to move ahead with it. You're trying to push things ahead. Now, in terms of your, I don't even know how to split this into, just, there are a lot of information coming through, but I do feel that this is like other people that you're dealing with in general. You have a fire sign coming through. So this is going to be a, I'm getting father figure, your father, a father-in-law, or a person that is, taking on the role of the father, okay? So you have a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. And I do feel that the relationship in the past might not have been great with this father figure, if it's a father figure, mainly because I feel like they are somebody who's very accomplished. They are a person in a position of authority. A lot of people look up to them. And I feel like there might have been a sense of competition between you and this father figure. It feels as if you need to step out from under his shadows. If you're dealing with a fire sign in general, I do sense that there is somebody here. I feel like this might be somebody that is bringing you some type of I feel like they're popping up in your life, and there's some type of a standoff, some type of a challenge here. So the fire sign is Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. It might not be a male figure. It could be a woman as well, because this is a general reading. I see you on the defense, and I see you not really sure how to move ahead. I feel like this person might be an obstacle in your life in some way. So it could be a father figure, a father-in-law, a person in authority, or another fire sign that is like very 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 like they seem to me like they have a very challenging, aggressive energy about them. It's not bad, but I do sense like they want you to prove yourself in some way. And as a Scorpio, I feel like you tell yourself, I don't need to prove myself to anybody. So they can take it or leave it. I don't need to prove myself. But I do sense like if this is somebody that you're pursuing romantically, I feel like they're taking a step back. I feel almost as if they know what they're about, they know what they're worth, and they need you to show them what you have to offer before they will budge. Okay, so honestly, I feel that Scorpios, you have to put your pride aside. If this is somebody that you are interested in, that you really admire and look up to, you're going to have to, show your true colors. You're going to have to show what you're made of in order to get on board with this person. I feel for a lot of you, you might be, let's see, you might have like a change in position, and there is an authority figure that is telling you, what are you made of? Like, prove yourself to me. And you're going to have to go that route. Okay. So I feel you like itching for a fight with another person. So be very mindful about that. Don't take the defensive stance. I feel like they come with good tidings. They're just a little bit abrasive when they communicate. So don't get on the defense and, start gearing up for battle, because I feel like it's not necessary. And also, they're a king, so they're going to win this battle. So it might be in your best interest to let your guard down and approach this like in a more in a less of a defensive or even offensive stance. So both sides need to have some type of a truce here. Now, one major thing in your life that is ending here is this is an emotional connection you've had for a long time with a person. Okay, so a lot of you are dealing with another water sign. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, I do feel some endings, some transitions is being had with this relationship in your life. So we have the Ten of Swords linked up with the Queen of Cups. So for those of you who have been romantically involved with a water sign in some way, a lot of you are finally putting a situation to rest so that you can move on. So this can be simply as simple as like walking away from this person and moving on to something better. Or it could be resolving whatever conflict you and the other person have so that you can move forward with more emotional balance and emotional stability. So I definitely feel whatever this situation is, it's going to be the only way you're going to win here, because there's so much fire in both of these cards that you have to temper it with a little bit of mutual understanding, sympathy. You also need to have like a little bit more of a strategy. Okay, so the sword and the water will help you temper this long-standing conflict that you've had with another person. I feel for a lot of you, you might have been in a situation where you feel very, very betrayed, abandoned by another person, and this might not have happened this this month. It might have happened in the past, and you're seething and you're still bringing on that sense of betrayal and resentment with you. This is the month for you to release this so you can do some type of healing for yourself, okay? If you have had a long-standing battle with a father figure or a person who is in a position of authority, I do sense this situation is going to come to an end, and you can move on ahead in a more um, even-keeled fashion, okay? So on the other hand, I do sense there is a water sign in your midst they are dealing with some hardships. So this is once again Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They're dealing with some hardship, and I do feel that you are going to have to help them fight a battle. You're fighting a battle on somebody's behalf, somebody that you feel you have a very strong emotional connection to. Honestly, pick your battles this month, and I feel like a lot of you under immense pressure, and especially if you feel like you have a very strong emotional connection to somebody, you will you will make great sacrifices for them. But if this is somebody that has betrayed you in the past, leave this situation alone. Don't scatter your energy picking battles that you can't win, okay? So that's very important for this month. So what's coming through here in terms of the advice for you? We have the Judgment card, which is basically new beginnings. So scrap away the past, let it go, and start on a new phase in your life. You have a blank page here, and you can write and you can manifest whatever it is that you want. So let the defensiveness go. Let the past pain and heartache go. Let that relationship where you felt constantly walking on eggshells, where you felt like the other person has really hurt you, let that situation go so that you can begin a new phase in your life, okay? We do have the Emperor here, and the Emperor usually indicates something being blocked out. When I do a reading and the Emperor shows up, it basically means divine intervention stepping in, and wherever the Emperor lies, it's basically the cutoff point. So you have some options coming through here. So what I'm sensing is you have some offers coming through, and this can be in work, this can be in projects, this can also be in love, and I do feel for a lot of you, it is the past coming back. It's like the past rearing its head and re-engaging you in conflict. It is people from the past coming back in, telling you, I'm very sorry for what I did. Can you please forgive me? And I feel like for a lot of you, you have offers on the table, but you have one person in particular that you are very smitten by, and you're waiting from that one specific offer. And the advice here with the Emperor coming back in the middle is don't date old people. By old, I mean people from the past, okay? You're going through a major transformative cycle in your life, and the past cannot be brought into the future. The Emperor is here as a gentle reminder that there are divine intervention at work, blocking out things from the past, things that have been problematic, things that have left you with a lot of pain and disappointment and despair. They're meant to be weaned out because you have a new beginning coming through, okay? For others of you, I feel like if you're looking for work, there is an offer here for a upper management positions, a position of authority, a position of status, and I feel like there are quite like a lot of people vying for the same position. So I see some type of a battle where you are going to have to show yourself what you're made of, show others what you're made of, and to prove to others that you have what it takes to do the job. So I do feel the job will be granted to you, Scorpios. It's going to bring about a new beginning for you. So some offer from the universe is going to bring about new beginnings. And I do feel it is greatly in the love front and also in the work front as well. Let's see what's in store for you for love and relationships. Okay. So first of all, what I'm getting with this card here, we do have the King of Cups, and this is going to signify your energy, okay? I feel like a lot of you are kind of at a point where you are feeling emotions again. You're feeling excited, you're feeling fired up, and you're feeling that sense of passion again. And a lot of you have been freed from a very significant soulmate type of a connection. So this could be, like somebody you were married with, somebody that you were in a very long standing affair with, love affair. So that doesn't have to be like stepping out of on a relationship, but it means like just, somebody you had a significant tie with. That tie has been broken, and I do sense a lot of you are moving on forward, okay? I feel for a lot of you, one of the reasons why it's really hard for you to let go of the past, and especially past relationship partner, is that you feel there was a karmic love connection, there was a soulmate connection, and I feel that it definitely was there, but it has served its purpose in your life. You have done a lot of growth. Because of it, you're able to mature into, the pinnacle experience of the suit of cups, where you're able to emotionally detach yourself, and you're not going to be too clingy, or you're not going to be too emotionally invested to the point where you can't extract yourself when things become unhealthy, okay? So because of it, you have done a lot of growth, and emotionally you're in a good point right now to pursue new relationships. So I feel like major relationship changes happening for a lot of you. The center of the spread here, we do have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands, this is a victory card. When it's in the reverse position, it basically means not knowing which way to go and not knowing where you stand, okay? One of the interpretations of this card that I found really interesting is this is like celebrating, okay? And in the reverse position, it's sort of like a premature, for those of you who are single, I feel that you are very elated because you're in a position where you have a lot of people coming through, and a lot of you have scrapped away a significant relationship. And once a Scorpio gets into a relationship, it tends to last for a very, very long time. You don't enter significant relationships lightly, but now that you're out of it, you're starting to realize that, wow, I'm a really good catch. A lot of people are lining up. I would say, like, don't get too cocky on the dating front, and especially I feel that you're dealing with people who are very similar to you, where they also have a lot of suitors. So be very careful about, counting your eggs before they hatch and things like that. Feeling as if I've got this one in the bag, I can take a step back and I can rest on my laurels, or I can take a situation for granted. Be very, very mindful about that, okay? A lot of you are dealing with a fire sign. If this is somebody that you have dealt with from the past, I do see some last minute negotiations happening. I do see some communication that are coming through from this person that unfortunately might get you emotionally riled up, okay? I do sense they're coming in with a little bit of a defensive stance. So for those of you who have been married to this person, I do sense like some truths coming to light where you both are going to have to air out your differences, okay? So if this is a long-standing squabble, you have some information here. And you also have the victory card, which means that you're going to be able to work things out and build a new foundation together, okay? So overcome your differences in order to build a new foundation. For others of you who are in a committed relationship, and especially a marriage situation, there's something here about children. Children being taken out of the picture, so joint custody issues possibly. The children might be sent to the other parent, so you've freed up some time, and the time that you freed up, you can actually spend on socializing and dating other people, okay? What I'm feeling as well, Scorpios, I do sense that your financial situation in the past, like I would say the past 6 months, financial considerations were very, very important. Financially, you might have felt very restricted, so you couldn't date freely. So, dating is expensive regardless of whatever gender you are. You're going out all the time, and you have to, people try to impress. So I feel like dating does get expensive. So I feel like financial considerations might have been a huge factor that interfere with your love life. And I do feel that the financial situation is getting a lot better for you, and as a result of it, you're feeling happier. It's helping to boost your self-confidence. It's helping to boost your self-confidence. And as a result of it, you might feel as if you're on top of the world. And as a result, you are attracting a lot of positive people coming your way. What I'm getting here with the Ace of Swords, as well as the Ace